Yes, I am finally back. Being sick these last 5 days and also running out of content ideas, these past 2 weeks I didn't get a video out. But from here on out, I'm gonna make sure that doesn't happen again. So starting today, we're gonna be daily uploading Monday through Friday, and we're gonna see how long I can keep this up for. But in today's video, we're gonna be discussing something that I honestly don't know how it's gonna go, and that's gonna be the Arizona Cardinals 2022-2023 season. And let me tell you why I'm stumped. Because last season, the Cardinals finished with a record of 11-6, which I happened to predict last year. I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I got it right. But this Cardinals team is going to look completely different from the one last season. Now, yes, we did bring back some key players like James Conner and Zach Ertz, but we also lost some big-time players like Chandler Jones, Chase Edmonds, Christian Kirk, and Jordan Hicks. Now, they did bring in a couple players to replace those guys, like Marquise Brown. We traded a first-round pick to get him. He's going to fill Christian Kirk's spot pretty well, if I had to say so myself. Maybe even better, because him and Kyler are best friends. They played together in college at Oklahoma, and the chemistry's there. So if I had to guess, I'm going to say that chemistry translates to the NFL as well. We brought Darrell Williams in to replace Chase Edmonds, which I am a huge fan of. I think this is a fantastic move. And to replace Jordan Hicks, we have Zaven Collins, who the Cardinals drafted in the first round. So it's been made very apparent that the Cardinals expect him to take a major leap in his second year. When it comes to Chandler Jones, I mean, we didn't really get a big name player to replace him, but instead, the Cardinals took the draft route to get younger and hopefully fill that position with drafting Cameron Thomas and Myjai Sanders. I'm actually big on both of these guys, and I think they could be studs in the league, but in their rookie year, I don't expect them to come anywhere close to Chandler Jones' production. I mean, I feel like it's a pretty obvious take. And another thing that plays a big time factor in predicting the schedule is that Deandre Hopkins is going to miss the first 6 games of the regular season because he was suspended for PED use, if you guys didn't know already. I made a video about that. You guys can go check that out if you haven't already. But we're going to be Deandre Hopkins-less for the first 6 games. But looking on the positive side of things, although we'll be without our best wide receiver and best player on the team in general, this is going to allow for Kyler to get that connection and chemistry down with Rondale Moore and Marquise Brown, and even AJ Green, who's entering his second year with us. Those 3 guys right there are going to get a ton of reps with him out, and this should be super beneficial coming down to the later games. Because we already know what Deandre Hopkins is going to do when he gets on the field. I mean, the dude is a stud. Single covered, double covered, triple covered, even quadruple covered. I'm taking DeAndre Hopkins in a jump ball every single day of the week. Fight me. And if you guys haven't seen the schedule already, here it is, and it looks insanely difficult. Unfortunately for us, we get to play the AFC West, who literally leveled up completely. Every single one of those teams got extremely better. Although the Chiefs lost Tyreek Hill, I mean, they still have Patrick Mahomes. They replaced him with Juju Smith and Sky Moore. The Raiders, they got Devontae Adams and Chandler Jones. The Chargers, I can't even begin to describe their offseason. Talk about phenomenal.
Sensational.
They brought in JC Jackson and Khalil Mack on the defensive side of the ball, while also retaining Mike Williams. And there's probably a couple people I'm missing too. Like, that's just how good their offseason was. And then we have the Denver Broncos, who acquired Russell Wilson. We just can't get away from this guy. Like, go away. I was happy when you got traded away from Seattle, but now we still have to play you this season. Like, thank you, NFL. And then there's other games that stand out on the schedule, like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who still have Tom Brady. The Patriots are always a hard matchup, and then you have all the divisional games as well. And then you have some games that stand out just to us Cardinals fans in specifically, like Week 4 at Carolina. We can never beat them no matter how good or bad they are. It makes no sense whatsoever, but just ask any Cardinals fan what the Panthers and the Lions do to us. It's bad. And really briefly, I'm going to go over every single one of these games, and I'm going to tell you guys whether I think we're going to win or lose them. And granted, this is a super early season prediction, but this is probably the only one I'm going to do, so we're just going to rock with it. But we start in Week 1, where we play the Kansas City Chiefs, who are Tyreek Hill-less, which might be pretty beneficial for us. This offense is going to have a lot to get used to without Tyreek, because he was basically the center point of that team, him and Travis Kelce. So filling in Juju Smith and Sky Moore into that offense could be a little difficult, and they could have some growing pains to start the season. But I mean, so could we, because we are DeAndre Hopkins-less. Even if he doesn't get the ball, his presence alone on the field is enough. So in Week 1, I'm going to say the Cardinals walk away with a very narrow win. I'm not going to give score predictions. I'll do that when we go week by week when the games are actually happening. Then we go to week 2 where we play the Las Vegas Raiders, and honestly, this is going to be a very difficult matchup. We get to see a familiar friend in Chandler Jones, so we're going to see if he can wreak havoc like he did in the beginning of last season. And then you got that offense with Derek Carr, Devontae Adams, Darren Waller. Like, the list just goes on and on. That offense is stacked. Because then you have people like Josh Jacobs, Hunter Renfrow. Like, I'm not even, like, their whole offense is stacked. Unfortunately, I think this is where the Cardinals are going to get their first loss of the season, but losing to the Raiders, we shouldn't hang our hats. And then in week 3, we play the reigning Super Bowl champion Rams. And as you guys can see, this is going to be a home game as well. And if you guys didn't know, the Cardinals, for some reason, are a better team on the road than at home. Does it make sense? No, it doesn't, but the statistics back that up. And with the Rams basically retaining everybody besides Odell and bringing in a couple big players like Bobby Wagner, I think the Rams are going to be even better than last season. But coming off a Super Bowl win, honestly, I think they're going to start the season off slow, and the Cardinals are going to get a victory in week 3. And then we head over to week 4 where we play the Carolina Panthers. I really want to say we're going to win this game, but I genuinely don't know. If I had to make a prediction, I'm going to say we do because, you know, I'm sick and tired of losing to them. And if we're being honest, Christian McCaffrey's probably going to be hurt by this time anyway, so we're probably not even going to see him on the field. And this team is not that good. Their defense is solid, but their offense is complete booty butt buns. So I think the Cardinals are going to win this one, and that would put us at a record of 3-1. Then we head over to week 5 where we play the Philadelphia Eagles, and this should not be a matchup we take lightly. I really like what the Eagles did in free agency this year. They brought in players like Hassan Reddick, they retained Fletcher Cox, and then they also signed James Bradbury a couple weeks ago. Like, this defense is insane, and if Jalen Hurts is able to take that leap coming into the season, the Eagles could be scary. I mean, they made the playoffs last season for a reason. But I still think this is a game the Cardinals are going to take, and that would put us at a record of 4-1 to start the year, even without DeAndre Hopkins. Now, granted, these are my predictions, so do not crucify me. Then we go over to week 6, where we play the Russell Wilson-less Seattle Seahawks, and I'm not even going to talk about this game too much. I think the Cardinals are going to absolutely clap them. And that would put us at a record of 5-1 through the first 6 weeks, and then we would head on to week 7 to play the Saints, where we would get DeAndre Hopkins back. The Saints are actually insanely good. They drafted Chris Olave, they signed Jarvis Landry, they got Jameis Winston back, and Jameis was balling when he was actually healthy last season, and unfortunately, I think this is where the Cardinals lose their second game of the year. The Saints are actually one of my sleeper teams to make a Super Bowl run, so I'd have no problem losing this game. And then we head over to week 8 where we get to play the Minnesota Vikings, who just got Pat P back, so I hope we absolutely torch them. I was a big fan of Pat P, but this man has been running his mouth and he just won't let go. I don't think the Vikings made any moves to take a significant leap, so I think the Cardinals are going to walk away with a win pretty convincingly here. Then we head over to week 9 where we play the Seattle Seahawks, and I actually think we're going to lose this one. I know I was talking a lot of crap about them earlier, saying we were going to absolutely decimate them, but for some reason we always split the series, and I don't think it's going to be any different this season. And in the NFL, I mean, you can't always beat the bad teams. There's going to be upsets somewhere, and this just so happens to be one of them. Then we go to week 10 where we play the Los Angeles Rams again, and unfortunately, I think we're going to lose this one here. Like I mentioned earlier, I think the Rams are going to start the season a little slow coming off the Super Bowl, but once they get things going, this team is going to be dangerous. I don't think we're going to get blown out, but I think they're going to take it by like maybe 7 to 10 points. Then we go to week 11 where we play the San Francisco 49ers for the first time in Mexico City. I don't know what is going on in San Francisco right now with the quarterback situation. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo's still on the roster. There's been rumors that he might play later in the season if Trey Lance isn't doing good. Like, I don't know what's going on down there. You got the Deebo Samuel situation too. He wants a new contract. He wants more money. He doesn't want to even play that hybrid role they had him playing. He even requested a trade. It's an interesting situation going on down there, but they are extremely talented. So while I do think the 49ers could be really solid this season, I think the Cardinals take this one here. And then we go over to week 12 where we play the Los Angeles Chargers, maybe the best team in football behind Buffalo and Tampa Bay. This team is insanely talented, and if they take the proper leaps, they could be a legit Super Bowl contender, or they could just go down as one of the most overrated teams in football. Only time will tell, but I think we're gonna lose this one here, which would head us going into the bye week at week 13. And then coming out of it, we play the New England Patriots in week 14, and unfortunately, I think we're gonna lose this one as well. Bill Belichick's not gonna be playing games this season, and this man is going to have this team playing elite level football. Mark my words. And then going into week 15, we get to play every Cardinal fan's favorite player, Russell Wilson. This man has tormented us for years, and we just cannot seem to get away from him. It's honestly sickening at this point. And although this Broncos team is really good, I think the Cardinals are going to win this one. It's always great seeing Kyler and Russ play because I'm a fan of both of them. Shocking because Russell Wilson has tormented us, like I said earlier. But I mean, I still like the guy off the field, and I think this is going to be a good one. Then we head over to week 16, my favorite matchup of the entire season, where we play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Tom Brady on Christmas Day. I might have to go see this one in person, because not only would I be able to get to see my favorite team in action on Christmas Day, but I would also get to see the GOAT in action as well for the first time in my life, and he might even retire after this year, so I think I gotta catch this one. And coming off of last season's loss to the Colts on Christmas, I can't have back-to-back losses. Please and thank you. If that happens, I'm probably gonna commit suicide. So for this matchup, I'm gonna put the Cardinals in the win column. Please don't disappoint me. Then we head over to week 17 where we play the Atlanta Falcons led by Marcus Mariota, and I think this is going to be a steamroll. The Cardinals are going to come into this one and absolutely decimate the Falcons. And then going into the final matchup, we have the San Francisco 49ers once again, and I'm going to mark it down as a win for the Cards. So if we are going based on my predictions, this would finish us with a record of 11-6, and we would basically be turning around what we normally do. As you guys can see, I had us starting the season pretty good, then collapsing towards mid-season, then finishing the year off strong. Normally, we don't do that. We start the year absolutely dominating teams and we catch fire to then collapse towards the end of the year and finish terribly. So I'm flipping the narrative and hopefully this stays true for this season. So here's my predictions. I want you guys to let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think of them, and I also want you guys to leave yours down in the comment section below. I want you guys to be able to come back at the end of the season and see how well you predicted it. So leave the record prediction down in the comment section below and come back to it at the end of the year. And also let me know your 3 favorite matchups on the season. For me personally, it's going to be the Tampa Bay game on Christmas. It's going to be that Chargers game in week 12. And honestly, it's probably going to be that week 10 game at the Rams. I know I said we're going to lose it, but that game right there is going to show us just how good we are. And yeah, with that being said, that's pretty much going to wrap up today's video. If you guys did enjoy, consider hitting that subscribe button. I post NFL, NBA, and Arizona Cardinals related content, so if you're a fan of either of those, this is the perfect channel for you. And something I don't do, but I should probably do a lot more often, is let you guys know that I am partnered with SeatGeek. If you guys are looking to go to a ticketed event and you guys are looking to save some money, use code MYTHICAZ for $20 off your first purchase. And with the NFL season starting shortly, I mean, this is the perfect time for you guys to save some money on some tickets. So if you guys want to save some money, go ahead and use code MYTHICAZ on SeatGeek for $20 off. But like I said, that's all I got for today's video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. It's been your boy Mythic. Peace out.